Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Now today my tubular exhaust manifold has arrived for Stevo the EVO. It looks pretty sweet and I thought I'd share it with you today. Now I'm going to cover a couple of things. Firstly, we're going to have an overview of the manifold. I'm going to tell you why I've bought it and just a couple of tips about this manifold in particular if you are going to order one. So let's have a look at my 600 horsepower table, as I'm calling it, and we'll have a look at the latest part to arrive to the table. So here is the manifold. I'm just going to clear some space and we shall take a look. Now this is actually quite a cheap manifold, £370. That's actually very cheap for a quality part. I've done a lot of research on the clubs and a lot of people use these, but there's a couple of things you need to bear in mind if you are going to use one. Alright then, so a nice up close shot of the manifold. I've looked down here with a light and I've really had a look to see if there's any horrible sort of stalactites of weld, I think they call it. There's not. It's actually really clean inside. The welds are high quality. I can see the penetration through to the inside and there's no big clumps of weld. On the ports here, this is where some of them would crack, and on the revised one they sort of double weld it really to the manifold, to the flange rather, so it's welded there and then it's welded again on the inside. And the welding looks pretty clean and all the ports have been grinded up and cleaned up really nice. So looking around the manifold, there's no pitting. The welding is done to a high quality, and looking on the other side here, we can see the ports have been smoothed and finished to a point that I'm happy with the part. Now it is a twin scroll manifold, the same as the factory one. So that's good. We're going to be benefiting from the gains of a twin scroll system. So we're staying with twin scroll. But yeah, generally I'm quite happy with the manifold. So I'm going to explain now why I saw fit to spend £370 on that manifold instead of just using the Mitsubishi part. As you know by now, I'm a big fan of using OEM parts on my EVO. And I always use OEM or better where possible. So why have I changed my tune then on this occasion? Well, let's have a little look at the manifold. We can see here there is a crack. It's a hairline crack. It's not actually leaking. I'm just focusing. It's not actually leaking, but it is a crack. Now this is a chronic problem on the standard Mitsubishi EVO 10 manifold. It's going to crack. It's 100% going to crack. It's just a case of when it's going to crack. Now my car's at 52,000 miles, I think, and it's cracked now. So yeah, they don't last that long. And sometimes the turbo housings also crack as well. But in my case, the turbo's fine. This could probably be patch welded up. But the trouble with cast is it's very difficult to weld it correctly. It's just really difficult to weld it correctly, and I don't have the welder or the skills to do that. I can MIG weld very poorly, but you're gonna have to be a very good welder to actually repair that, and even then it will probably crack somewhere else at some point. There's a couple of things you want to bear in mind when buying this Japspeed manifold. You want to get the second revision. The earlier ones were known to crack, but Japspeed revised the design and now they're apparently very reliable. Now that's not Japspeed's words, I have no dealings with Japspeed, but on the EVO clubs there's plenty of people using this exact manifold and they find them to be very good and reliable, provided you get the revised one, which this is. This was freshly made very recently. Now it does come with two exhaust manifolds, one for the manifold to head, one for the manifold to turbo. Just chuck them out. Don't even think about using them. Throw them straight in the bin. Phone up Rossport and order some genuine gaskets. That's what I've done, and that's what a lot of people have done. And you are going to have to put the genuine gaskets on. It's just whether you want to do the job once or twice. So you can go down the road, you can blow the gaskets out and then call Rossport for some replacement gaskets, or you can just take my advice and do it straight away. Even on my Instagram page, if you follow me on Instagram, you would have known I've had this before the video's gone up, and someone commented saying the exact same things happened to them. So get the genuine gaskets, from the get-go, and you're not going to have to fit it twice. So hopefully that explains why I'm not using the genuine manifold. It's not for the claimed power gains. Now they do claim 40 horsepower with this. I'm not so sure. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But I'm not buying it for the power. I'm buying it because in the clubs, that exact manifold is a tried and tested manifold that people have used for considerable time without issues. There's no other reason than that. And the factory manifold's cracked, so I had to buy a manifold. It might as well be one that other people have had good experience with. So hopefully you found that video helpful, maybe enjoyable or interesting, and yeah, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers guys.